welcome to today's video. Today I will be creating Helsinki Regional Traffic train line Y, which runs from Helsinki to Siuntio. And that's why we're here in Kirkkonummi, because we will need to extend the track westwards a bit. The track between Siuntio and Kirkkonummi was straightened back in 1985, and that cancelled out some stops. The rest of the stops between the two stations were closed way back in the early 90s, but nevertheless I will create everything. I will create the old stops, I will create the old rail line, and I will create the new rail line, and I will make the regional train Y travel the old rail line, and I will make the express trains between Helsinki and Turku whenever we get there to use the new rail line. But I already tried creating this line once. Then an airplane flew above my house. I tried to open flight radar to see which plane it was, because I'm also interested in planes, and that was when everything crashed. So now I'm starting again. The first stop between Kirkkonummi and Siuntio was called Jeppas. It hasn't existed in ages. It was closed way back in 1991, I think, if I checked correctly. But in this save, Jeppas is still here and trains can stop there. I will also have to apologize again. I'm still a bit in a flu. It has still not gone away. So there will be sneezing, there will be coughing, there will be everything. Everything not so nice sounds, but try to put up with it. It's just it's just human. There we go. So the express trains to Turku will just skip all of this and run straight, and then the poor regional trains will have to stop at places called Jeppas, where not not too many people will board, I expect. So, and the reason why I'm creating this line now is that regional bus traffic to Kirkkonummi is about to happen soon. Sorry about that. The following stop then is called Vuohimäki, or Getberg, and that stop is that stop is located around here. Did it go too close, actually? Well, I think the trains can manage. And also Vuohimäki was closed way back in the early 90s. Oops. There we go. The following stop is called Kela, or Chela, and it's located in here, and this platform will be on that side of the track, and there will be a reason for it. After this station, the new rail was built way back in the 80s, and Kela was also closed in the early 90s. But after that, the few following stations were then closed back in the 80s because of the new track. And there we go. And like I said, I will be creating both the old track and the new track because, well, the regional trains can use the old track and the express trains to Turku. When we get there, they can use new tracks. Oops. Oops. Oh no, that went well. So this is Kela. And then we'll just add the signals to the passing point there, and then we'll add the passing track there, and then we'll add the junction to the sorry. Yep, that's it. And then I will first create the new rail line, because this is where they split. The new rail line there is also a tunnel in here. It seems the new rail line goes approximately here. And this was how far I got before the plane flew over my my house and everything crashed. I'm actually happy that the game didn't autosave in between the start of the video and this point, because that would have meant that I would have first have to clear every blueprint I built and then start rebuilding it, which would have been pretty dull. I actually wonder why I'm putting in all these signals, because there will be about 1 train an hour running this track, so I don't think they will catch each other. I don't think there is any danger of that. But the old rail line, it first stops at, let me see, that was Kela. It stops at Ketola, or Ängsby, and that's pretty funny, because the stop of Ketola is right in the village of Kela. Here I won't need an overtaking track, because all trains using this stretch of track will stop at every station, or every station on both of the 2 stations on this old track line. The track line has of course long since been demolished. Sorry. So, but finding its traces in the terrain are not that difficult. And then the following stop is called, let me just have a look here. It's called Vima, or Vik. And I think that stop comes just before the... it's not on this map. I'm actually looking at a map from the 60s at the moment. I'd have to find a newer map then. Yeah, the stop is right after the river crossing in here. So we'll place it here. and then we'll build the new tracks past it, and this is where the new tracks will go to old tracks. Now, this system where the last stop for regional trains is at Siuntio is a bit difficult because long distance trains don't stop in Siuntio. So basically, when I'm starting to create regional train services sorry, westwards from Siuntio, Siuntio will become a pretty crowded crossing station, which it's not. In earlier years, the regional traffic ran all the way to Karja, which eliminated this problem because all the long distance trains also stop at Karja. But once again, I will have to live with this universe. I could, of course, create regional traffic all the way from Helsinki to Karja, like it used to be, but it would have been this train, so no. There. Now the old tracks have been created, and like I said, this section was taken out of use in 1985. And the new section will, of course, then remain unused. But wait a second, I could actually take local train traffic all the way to Karja. I could revive the old X train and run it past this stretch of track so that it would avoid the old line. Let's see. That might actually happen. But we are now in Siuntio, and that's where the station is. The long distance track will of course run past it, and quickly it will. And the short distance or regional traffic will stop here. And of course there will be one of my loops. There we go. And tickets to Siuntio will cost, well, 3.5 euros. How funny. Let's build them. And then let's create the line, which is, I said, Y. Is it Y? I have to check. That's Y. Yeah, so we start. No, it's not blue, it's red. It's a train line. So we start from Siuntio, then we stop at Viiva, we stop at Ketola, we stop at Kela, at Vuohimäki, at Jeppas, at Kirkkonummi. And then let's see, because the line does not stop at Ah, yeah, it only stops at Masala. Sorry about that. It only stops at Masala between these two stations, and so it shall be. Then it only stops at Kauklahti. And it stops at Espoon Keskus, so it really skips a lot of stops. It stops at Leppävaara. No, that's Huopalahti. Let's not go that far. And then it stops at Pasila. And of course at Helsinki. I should check the timetable of the train, but that's a bit difficult right now because the train does not run at the moment. There are massive track works between... wait, it doesn't even stop at Huopalahti. It does stop at Huopalahti. Well, isn't this great? So, Leppävaara. And Huopalahti. And there we go. Now we have all the stops there. Yeah, there are massive track works going on between Leppävaara and Espoo. Or actually Leppävaara and Kauklahti, I think. That's all of this track is closed for 5 weeks this summer. So getting a hold of the timetable of the route is a bit difficult, understandably, at the moment. There. Line ready. Let's let's check the timetable. Yeah, it runs approximately hourly. That's a good interval. And we'll operate the line with 2 trains. There we go. Line ready, trains up and running. There's once again traffic. And it's time to say, or it's time to state that there will be a new video tomorrow, and it's time to say bye.